In Washington, President Donald Trump has instructed his health department to collaborate with Congress to reform a law that permits Medicare to negotiate prescription drug prices. This initiative aims to introduce a change that the pharmaceutical industry has been advocating for. Pharmaceutical companies have been lobbying to extend the timeline for when medications become eligible for price negotiations by 4 years for small molecule drugs, which are primarily pills and constitute the majority of medicines. This would align with the 13-year waiting period for more complex biotech drugs to become eligible for Medicare price negotiations. The comprehensive executive order signed by President Trump seeks to reduce healthcare costs. It follows the Trump administration's initiation of a national security report into the pharmaceutical industry, a step towards potential sector-specific tariffs. For the first time, Medicare's ability to directly negotiate prices on selected medicines was part of President Joe Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. Medicare provides coverage for 66 million Americans, mostly those aged 65 and older. Drug manufacturers have expressed concerns about the terms of Medicare's negotiating powers, arguing that it could hinder innovation. They have particularly opposed the timeframe for negotiation eligibility for most drugs. Currently, when drugs face no competition, the law allows the government to negotiate prices for complex biologic drugs after 13 years on the market, but only after 9 years for drugs in pill or capsule form. President Trump cannot implement this change through an executive order because the negotiation process is defined in legislation. However, his order directs Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., to work with Congress on modifying it. Other proposed changes to the negotiation process are expected to yield more savings than those achieved during the first round under the Biden administration, according to White House officials. They did not provide specific details before the signing. Under Biden's administration, a price reduction of up to 79% was negotiated for the first group of 10 drugs deemed among the most costly to the Medicare program. The Trump administration will negotiate prices for a second group of 15 medications, including Novo Nordisk's popular diabetes and weight loss treatments Ozempic and Wegovy, as well as Pfizer's cancer drugs Ibrance and Xtandi. Trump's order also seeks to align Medicare payments for drugs with those of hospitals, which can be up to 35% lower. It calls for standardizing patient payment rates across locations, ensuring people are not charged different rates depending on where they receive care, a policy known as site-neutral payments. Additionally, Trump directed the Food and Drug Administration to encourage more applications from states for drug importation programs initiated during his first term. So far, only Florida has received FDA authorization to directly import drugs from Canada, despite several other states having applied. The order also instructs the FDA to streamline approval processes for less expensive generic and biosimilar versions of branded medicines.